This is not financial or investment advice. Oh, Dadasan. By Bitcoin.
But Mr. Miyagi, I bought Dogecoin.
Welcome to the
Let's go back to El Salvador. Got to keep up with El Salvador. And old Mr. Steve Hankey's at it
Your
again.
buddy.
El Salvador may be facing sanctions from the Bitcoin making it legal tender. And I'm not going to play any of this video or anything, but you go ahead and check it out yourself. Kitco News as itself, I do like them, and I follow them quite a lot because they get both sides. You know what I mean? You get people praising stuff, and you get people shitting on the same thing. You know, that you get both sides, and you kind of make your own decisions and stuff. And he goes on here about how they're making it's just going to be a criminal safe haven. And he goes into Bitcoin. I think he said 47% of Bitcoin transactions are for malicious, illegal
whatever
stuff.
What's their dollar doing? Come on.
Yeah, well, he talks about how great the dollar is and how they've been using it for close to 20 years now. I think in 2002 they adopted the U.S. dollar after their Civil War, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, they had their Civil War and then their currency.
We bailed them out, basically.
Well, yeah, I call it whatever you want, but they started using that, and how they had only about 2% inflation per year since then from other relative, countries around them, and yeah.
So they're going to slap them with sanctions because
Well,
they're taking away from their piggy bank. That's all they're doing.
I almost feel like that they kind of the powers that be delegate this stuff to people like this, and they're like, here, this is what you need. You know what I mean?
This is what you need to say.
Because he states a really good. I mean, he does a good job at making this look like a criminal mastermind that's doing all this. You know,
He's basically a scarecrow, right? They put him out in the field to try to like push everybody off course and not go after the good thing. But it just drives me insane. That's why all these Central American countries that are talking about doing this need to stand up and do it together.
Yeah, exactly. He goes in. He states. He paints a pretty colorful picture, I guess, is what I'll say. On, I mean, everything from they puts up a list of like a dozen or 24 people that are around the president of El Salvador and how they're criminally involved and blah 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 blah. Bitcoin, half of it's used for illegal stuff. How they're forcing their citizens to use it. And aside from, I don't know the background of the people that are around the president of El Salvador, but the other stuff of it, I can, I've done enough research myself to he's full of shit on most of that stuff, But like you said, other countries got to stand up, and it looks like they are. Paraguayan lawmakers are to present the Bitcoin bill on July 14th, so we'll see.
Coming
El
right up.
Salvador's decision to accept Bitcoin as legal tender in June appears to be influencing lawmakers across the region to begin exploring their own cryptocurrency strategy. Paraguay is next in line to introduce a new crypto-focused legislation. Paraguayan Congressman Carlitos Rajala and Senator Fernando Silva are planning to introduce a Bitcoin bill to Congress on Wednesday, July 14th, underscoring the lawmakers' urgency to formulating a coherent digital asset strategy for the country. I am here to unite Paraguay, he tweeted, adding that he and his fellow lawmakers are planning a mega surprise for Paraguay in the world. So,
Wonder what the surprise is.
Dogecoin. I don't know.
It's exciting. I mean, hopefully the dominoes will continue to fall. That's what they need to stand together.
Just watch us go down. They're going to be one behind the other, but they're just going to see what the hell happens. Like these guys are July 14th. And they're gonna watch these guys what they get hit with sanctions.
I mean,
if they do it, they're gonna get nailed with it too because they got U.S. dollar, right?
I am not sure. That's a good question, though. I'm not 100% sure.
can you imagine this news in 2017 though? Right?
Wow. Right.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, if you go back to 2017, just how far we've progressed in those few years.
Short amount
It's
of time.
like-
That's why they're
Yeah.
worried about this now.
But in 2017, Matt, I don't think you were doing anything with crypto then, were you? Yeah, I mean,
Still the U.S. dollar.
yeah, I mean, we were talking about these days, when this happens or if it happened or whatever. It's happening now,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it's not Russia, but
I
it's
heard
not
about Bitcoin in 2010. If I had just put a little bit of money into it, then hey,
there
we
you
wouldn't
go.
have to be doing this show. I'd buy you guys a yacht somewhere from Jane's, and we go out partying everywhere for rice. No,
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I keep following it, but I can find just as many articles that say it's not going to happen, and they're so far from it. This is a joke, as I can find saying, "Hey, man, we're moving forward with this, and we got a lot of people on our side." So, just like any of the other news nowadays, it's hard to tell what the hell's really going on. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
Yep.
we'll see. We'll see. I think it's if this one does go through, like you said, I think the dominoes might be falling.
Yeah,
man.
Oh, yeah.
that's the forward momentum that they need. Like El Salvador, it's starting to tip. It'll tip the next one, but if it hits, like if Paraguay goes, it's going to go bang, bang, bang,
Yeah.
and then
then they can't stop it at all.
the speed will intensify. Yeah, the energy will just push it all forward.
The shock and
So-
awe effect. Boom.
Right. Well, I've seen some articles about Janet Yellen and 130 something countries agreeing to their tax laws for. I should have brought that up and found. I seen that a few days ago. They're trying, man. They're trying. They're dragging their feet so damn
Oh,
hard.
yeah.
That's why the U.S. is so slow for an ETF. That's why the U.S. is so slow to regulate.
Because it legitimizes it.
I think I think that they have people in government, obviously, that absolutely understand what the hell's going on.
Mhm.
They know that they can't. There's not a lot that we can do about it. There's nothing that we can do about the Bitcoin. I think, and mark my words on this, I think I said it on the channel before. I think I think they like someday they're gonna say, you know what, we'll give you a 20% discount on your taxes you pay in Bitcoin. And that's their way of sucking it out of the system. You know what I mean? That they're gonna try to accumulate, like again, like that bad money brings out good money, but in a larger form, you know what I mean? A much larger case, because they'll have their Fed coin. And when they come out and people used to fight me and argue with me about that a year or two ago. That ain't never gonna happen.
They're
I'm like,
talking about it
great.
now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if the way that they have their monetary policies and stuff like that, if you have basically all I can do is raise interest rates or print money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Raise interest rates, lower interest rates, print money. That's pretty much the only. So it's like they're doing like surgery with a cleaver.
Yeah.
If you had a federal cryptocurrency, and Carney's making $2 million a year, and I make $30,000 a year or whatever, they can tax you individually or entice you to spend your money. They could have him earning 5% interest on his money, or all of a sudden he's not spending enough money. Okay, well, we'll lower his interest. You know what I mean? He isn't going to make no interest rate. Or on the other side, if they're giving stimulus to checks to you or to me or to whatever, or to Joe Blow that won't get off his ass, go to work, you got 2 weeks to spend these before they're gone. You know what I mean? And you can spend them at
Just
store
as a
A, B, and
disclosure,
C,
if I was making $2 million a year, you're damn right I'd be spending it.
right?
Worry about
They,
mine.
they can make it so you couldn't purchase a firearm with it. They can make it so
Yeah.
you couldn't. You don't think that gives them a hard on? Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Yeah. Well,
so
once again, they got
anyway,
their scheme going.
like I said, it gives them a like more of a scalpel as far as monetary policy. They can encourage certain groups or areas to
Well,
spend, and they can encourage other areas to save.
I think we've talked about this in past podcasts where like it gives them direct access to the end user of the dollar at this point. Whereas it used to be, the Fed would issue out to the larger banks would issue out to the smaller banks would reach the individuals and the small businesses, right? But this takes out everybody in the middle. Like the ability to have a digital dollar takes out everybody in the middle so they can have direct access to the end user themselves and be able to know and influence that person.
All these people got money in the bank right there. They can call tonight and say, hey, no one can take no money out at all. And you can't go to the ATM, can't go to the bank, withdraw none of your money. But that card there, slip that on the side, you can walk around town with that. Say, hey, look what I got.